I'm here at the District 4 Spring Conference, and I had the chance to meet one of my original mentors and distinguished Toastmaster, Jim Griffin. Jim, what a pleasure to see you again.
Well, thank you, Dennis.
Now,
glad to be here.
I share the tips that you have on evaluating to motivate with a lot of the members of our clubs before they go up and give their first speech evaluation. I've had a lot of great feedback about that. Could you share some of those tips with us? How can members give better evaluations, Jim?
Well, I think back on just the Toastmaster motto, which is better listening, better thinking, and better speaking. And so I look at evaluations in the context of that.
Yes.
And better listening is learning how to listen to a Toastmaster. And listening involves not just hearing what they're saying, but listening to yourself, to your own reactions to that speaker. You can find yourself being nervous, you can find yourself excited at the end of your seat.
Yeah.
And when you have a response, when you listen to your own responses, you come up with the kinds of material, the examples that you want to bring up later in your evaluation. So that's where listening plays a good role, not only listening to the speech, but listening to your own reaction to that speech.
So the person listens to their own reaction, and they say what they feel, what they heard, and express. So they reflect back what they took in. Now, can a newer member evaluate a skilled speaker? What's your thoughts on that?
Certainly, because you're basing your evaluation on your observations. Every individual listening to a speech has those observations, and you can report on them. It doesn't matter if the speaker is better than you, you're giving feedback to the speaker as to how their speech affected you. And thinking about how to put that together, sometimes the best method is to imagine your senses. This is what I saw, this is what I heard, and this is how I felt. That way you take ownership of those senses, and you're not trying to pontificate or give lessons to the speaker. You're giving feedback as to how you experience the speech.
That's great. So a newer member can come in, watch a more skilled speaker, and then they can evaluate them by saying their senses, what they saw, what they heard, and what they felt, and then they reflect that back to the speaker in their evaluation. Well, that's great. Are there any other pointers you could give? Maybe one more?
Well, ultimately, you have to get up and deliver this evaluation. And that's just practice. Practice and your speaking skills. One thing I've found to help me is to imagine. You tend not to give a good evaluation if you aren't thinking in the best interest of the speaker. So you almost have to. You want to like this. If you don't like the speech, you've got to like the speaker, at least. Think of the speaker as being your own child, someone who has had the courage to come up and deliver this. Get a rapport with the speaker that you really want to help them, rather than that you're teaching them anything. So getting the right frame of mind to deliver your speech, and then like any other speech, you tell them what you're going to tell them, then you tell them, and you summarize with what you just told them.
Well, that's very helpful. I'll share that with our clubs and with our members. And it's a pleasure to see you here again, Jim. Thanks again. And I just want to let you know, as one of my early mentors, it means a lot to see you again. And the tips that you taught me early on, those stuck with me. And I'm glad I've had the chance to share them with many other members. So thanks again for being a mentor.
That's very rewarding for me as well.
And good to see you again.